because I feel like when you are not compatible, even when there's love, it looks like there's no love. It was more focused on academics, it was more focused on himself. Sometimes people help steer your life. Me, I heard God directly, and I heard God through the means in which He speaks to me. So I know that sexual things are pleasurable and enjoyable and everything. Your relationship standing firm on God. And this is not me being too spiritual or anything. You guys know me, I come real for real. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Dilamia Day. If you're new here, welcome. Please do not make this video your first and the last. Please make sure you check out other videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel and put on your post notification bell. And also, my loyal gang, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are great. Today's video is a very juicy video, so do make sure that you have your popcorn ready or your snack ready and your juice or coffee, anything that you feel comfortable with. And in this video, we're going to be talking about relationship. This is a topic that I feel that I am called to, or I am so interested in. Like, I am so interested in it, and I feel like it's something that God has given me the strength to be able to do for 5 years and more. I put up a story update about relationships and all, and I asked you guys to ask me questions on relationships, on courtship, on Instagram and on WhatsApp, and I got a couple of questions that I'm going to be answering today. I wish my partner was here, but I feel like a lot of people felt like he was going to be here, but nah, he's not going to be here. Ever he's not here right now. Anyways, it's not something like I did tell you guys it was going to be here, right? So I don't know if I should apologize for that at all. So he's not going to be here, and I know that a few persons asked him a few questions, but I'll just like find a way to put everything together. I'm going to be using my Android phone. Maybe I should just remove this thing safe. So let's just get into it as soon as possible. I'll take it a step at a time. Let's start with the first questions, guys. This person says, how many years should a guy be older than his girl? For me, I don't think there's like an appropriate age, because I've never been in a relationship where the guy is way older than me. He's always between 1, 2 years for me, or maybe even the same age. But why am I saying the same age? Like, I have already dated a lot of people. I don't know. I feel like it's just you, what you want, your preference, something you'll be happy about, someone that that God has brought into your life, and God intentionally placed the person as your life partner, someone you do the kingdom with, someone you do life with. I think that's what's most important. I don't really know that. I don't even know if there's a difference, like there should be a certain appropriate age difference, but I know that I've seen people who are 30 years, there's 30 years age difference between them, and their marriage is actually doing okay. It depends on what you want, but it's not something that I would advise, to be honest, except if you guys have the same value structure and all of those great stuff. A few questions I won't be able to answer, not because I don't want to answer it, but because my partner is definitely not comfortable in me answering those questions. They're quite personal to us, and I don't think we should answer them, or we don't think we should answer them. This person says, what advice will you give someone just starting a relationship and recently realized she and her partner are so different? And also, what advice will you give to someone whose partner is so forgetful? So that's two questions. Yeah, I feel like nobody comes the same way. We all have nobody like comes like attitude, all of that exactly the same way. We all grew up from different backgrounds. I mean, it's your partner, you grew up from different backgrounds. The major cocoa is that your values align and your characters align, and maybe you are compatible. I think it is really important that you're compatible, because I feel like when you are not compatible, even when there's love, it looks like there's no love. All right, it sort of blinds your eye and makes you see the wrongs more than the rights. Yeah, so I feel like it's important. As much as you are so different, is it really causing a rage? Is it really causing issues? Is it something that you cannot maneuver with? Is it if it's something you can manage for the rest of your life? Because I mean, you don't have any partner, any perfect partner. If, for instance, my partner does not like laying the bed and I like laying the bed, I mean, it's an issue for some people. They will never marry people like persons like that. But I know that, oh, I like laying the bed and he likes washing clothes, so go and wash the clothes. Let me lay the bed. If it's something that we can work with, why not? But if it's something that you cannot work with, please don't bother. Like, don't bother doing it. I don't think it's a relationship you should be in. Somewhere that you cannot compromise, because you're so different. But if two of you are talking to each other and you're understanding each other, I don't think there's a problem. Just move along. What advice will you give to someone whose partner is so forgetful? I feel like, is he willing to change? Are you talking to him about it? Have you spoken to someone that he listens to and all? So if he's willing to change, I feel like you could just help him out with him not forgetting things easily. Maybe tell him to get a to-do list, tell him to get a reminder and stuff like that. But if he's not willing to change, I don't know what to say. So another person asked, she said, as a lady, I don't know. Yeah, as she said, as a lady, said, as a lady, is it possible for you to teach a man how to treat you, or is it that you are forcing yourself on him by doing that? I feel like it's okay to teach a man how to treat you, because he may never have had experiences before on how to treat a lady. Or for instance, you can imagine, dating a man where his father never knew how to treat his mother, or that's what he knows. For instance, I'm not talking about domestic abuse and everything. I mean romantic things, calling you and doing all of those stuff, because I don't believe in writing off people. I feel like if I depended so much on the reality of my relationship based on my first year and second year in my relationship, I wouldn't have been with my partner till now. But I mean, giving your partner a chance to change. I mean, I was not perfect too, but I mean, I'm a lot better now. All right. So sometimes you don't just write off people, you can teach him how to, be romantic. For example, let me say, okay, my partner wasn't really so romantic, not because he didn't want to be romantic, but number one, he didn't have the means. Number two, he didn't really know how to do those things. He was more focused on academics, he was more focused on himself. He was not a me and somebody kind of person. He was just himself, himself, himself. And then you could term it as selfishness. But when he saw that we fought over it, and that enough could make him lose me, because I'm really a selfless person, he changed. All right. So I feel like sometimes you can teach a person how to treat you, but if it's lingers on for too long and there is no change, then I don't know. I know how frustrating that can be. And I think one of the things that helped us then was that I reported him to a very good friend of his, and that really helped the whole situation. So all those, you shouldn't tell a man how to treat you. Duh. You should also tell a woman how to, be a girlfriend or be a good woman, and all of that. Because I mean, there are women who are good women, but they don't even know, because they are still fighting identity crisis and or they still have identity crisis and everything. Sometimes people help stare your life. Just like the way pastors change our lives through their messages and everything, a person can come into your life and everything changes. What can I do when one is in a relationship where the guy doesn't really call or text, yet he claims he loves you, that calling or texting isn't just part of him? I call and text him, but whenever I don't, it's either we don't communicate at all or once in a while. So it's either we don't communicate or once in a while. How can one go about it? This is in continuation to my first text. Thank you. I think this is a different person actually. Okay, for this, I would say energy is important too, because I feel like it is what you're seeing now you will see later in future. So sometimes, aside from the fact that you can help them be a better version, and this one, you're not saying like that he loves you, you're saying he claims to love you. So it means that in other areas you're not seeing that he loves you. For my partner, then I saw that he loved me, but he wasn't just used to being romantic and doing things with another person, and that took a while to change. Okay, but this one, they're saying he claims to love you, like, but you don't even feel it, you don't see it. All right, I don't think, see, that kind of relationship, I don't think it is one, because why won't we have conversations? How do I know what's going on in your life? How do you know what, I mean, if you don't want us to call or text all the time, I think we should have just left it at being friends. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. But that's what I think, Sha. So another person asked that, did you hear directly from God that your boyfriend is the one, or did you just feel at peace inside of you? I feel like this is a whole topic on its own, but I want to say that conviction is progressive, and conviction is not at once. It's not something that you just get in one day and that's it. Sometimes God tells you about someone, and what if they misbehave and everything, and what if you get distracted at the end of the day? It's progressive conviction that keeps letting you know that this person is for me. But I feel like the one of the first things, and people hear God directly. You can hear God through your dreams, you can hear God, talk to you in person, you can hear God through other people. So I think the first thing you're supposed to ask yourself is, how does God speak to you? Do you get? For me, I heard God directly, and I heard God through the means in which He speaks to me. He speaks to me through dreams a lot, yes, dreams a lot, and when I am journaling. So I heard God through that means, and I also had peace in my spirit. Even though along the way there were so many things that disturbed my peace concerning it, and I think that it was the devil coming to play, because when he sees that two believers are together, he never likes it. So he comes ahead and brings issues and bring storms and everything. But once your relationship is built on the foundation of Christ, I feel like you'll be able to weather any storm at all together. I feel like I'm too serious in this video. Guys, I told you that this is something I feel like I'm called to, and I asked for the inspiration of the Holy Spirit to talk, okay? Yeah. So this person says, "Hi Lami. My partner and I kiss and cuddle, nothing extra. She likes to be held and pampered. What do you think I can do to avoid this amount of intimacy? PS, she enjoys it." Now, that PS is what made me say, okay, yes, I get it now. But I feel like one of the best things you can do for yourself in a relationship is to get the same person who has to get someone to be in a relationship with someone who has the same value structure as you. Okay, who has the same value structure as you? Does she believe in no sex before marriage? Does she believe in um abstinence, sexual purity? Does she believe in it? Does she believe in abstinence? Because I feel like when two of you believe in it, you'll be able to strive to make sure that your relationship is as pure as anything. So it's based on two of you actually agreeing to it. Because now you're saying, you're like, how can you avoid it? But she enjoys it. So I know that sexual things are pleasurable and enjoyable and everything, but if it's only one person who wants to stay away from it, it's harder, because two of you are not now making a conscious effort. But I feel like what you can do is talk to her about it and let her know the reason why you want to avoid it. I mean, if you're a Christian, there's already a major reason why you should avoid it, because God says to keep sex to marriage, right? And yes, basically just talk about it and all, then see where you can go from there. And I think another thing that can work is actually talking to your mentor or talking to your pastor. That helps you a lot. Like, no man is an island. What are the things that make a happy relationship and home? I feel like one of the things that make a happy relationship and home is, number one, your relationship standing firm on God. And this is not me being too spiritual or anything. You guys know me, I come real for real. Submitting your relationship totally to God, it makes a happy relationship, to be honest. When you are praying together, it over makes a happy relationship. Then communication. Another thing is communication and understanding each other. Another thing that genuinely makes a happy relationship is if you are friends, like trying as much as possible to be friends more than you are even lovers. Doesn't mean you should erase the lovers out of it, because I mean, what is a relationship? But making sure that you guys are lovers, let your relationship be built on trust. Let it be built seriously on trust. Make sure you trust each other. I feel like that's another thing that makes a happy relationship. Because when one person is not trusting, you see, I do something that do not make that will not make the other person trust you. It cannot be a peaceful, relationship and all of that. So I feel like many things make up a happy relationship. God, communication, honesty, and character building. Yes, character building, compromise. What are the top three non-negotiable values expectations from a man? Number one, he is a believer. He is a believer. Number two, he is very kind. Number two is very, very kind. And number three is very honest and vulnerable. Those are the three non negotiables for me. Number one is a child of God, like not a child of God alone. Like, obviously, as a child of God, you should have the fear of God. There are so many people that call themselves believers and they don't even, you know, have the fear of God. But number one, let him have the fear of, because if you have the fear of, if he has the fear of God, there's so many things he will not do to you. He has the fear of God, he's kind, and he's very honest. His top three relationship advice. I think I would ask him, then I'll just put the screenshot on on the screen when I'm editing, okay? So this person says, what do you think about 13 years gap? I would prefer you don't call my name. Obviously, I'm not calling anybody's name, but what do I think about a 13 years gap? What me I have said is, so far your value structure meet each other and it jam. And God says this is a person. Hello, I don't care about anybody. Let's continue the love. Is anything wrong in dating a guy younger than you? Absolutely nothing wrong for me. If I was not in a relationship, I could date someone younger than me. So far, the person is who God has called me to be with. Number two, the person has all the non-negotiables that I want in a man, and the person is such like a very good man. But one thing I will not, one person, one kind of man I will not date is maybe when he's way too younger than me, and I don't know. I'm not in that situation, so I can't say exactly how young, but I know that I can date a guy younger than maybe 1 or 2 years. And that question is, how were you able to resist sexual temptation being in such a long relationship? So this is what I would say. I will not say that, especially in the beginning of the relationship, I will not say there were no glitches here and there. I think we just basically had to learn. We had to learn. It was not a negotiable kidney for us. It was something we got to hold off very quickly. I think we prayed about it. We stopped staying together alone and so many things. Yeah. What should be the maximum age difference? I've already answered that. Any whatever works best for you. I mean, what do you think is the when do you think is the right time to start a relationship? Number one, when you're spiritually mature. The only reason you will stay sexually pure is when you are spiritually mature. Because if you're not spiritually mature, even when you feel like you have self-control, sometimes it's not even your self-control that keeps you, it is the fear of God in you that actually keeps you, that you are afraid that God will be angry with you, that you're afraid that yeah mo make motulete, that kind of thing. That's what will actually keep you. It's not your. So I feel like when you're sexually oh, money sexually mature. When you're physically, when you're spiritually matured, emotionally matured, and you know you can undo being with someone. I feel like when you've gotten yourself. I'm not really a person of totally find yourself before you get into a relationship, because I didn't totally. I found myself when I was in a relationship. I became a better person when I got into a relationship. Can I shoot my shot at guys when I like them? Uh I feel like you can position yourself, not exactly shoot your shot, because I positioned myself to be seen. Okay? And I'll teach you guys in another video. I'm just joking, but I positioned myself to be seen. Don't shoot your shot. I don't know. Why do ladies not give 100% energy when trying to woo them? If they don't give you 100% energy, they probably don't like you. You can try again, but if it keeps happening and happening, they probably don't like you. Is it okay to forgive a cheating partner? I feel like this depends on different scenarios, but it depends on the scenario, to be honest. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it has never happened with me, so I don't really know. I always feel like sometimes what on what conditions, what happened, on what circumstances did it happen? Okay, so that's when I can now say. But if it's something that person open eyes, he did everything, he leave me, go and do it around outside and everything, I can't get back. To be honest, there's been a lot of changes for us. For example, we are both graduates now. He's now a doctor. I'm also a business owner, and I have my remote job, a content creator, and all of that. And also, we've also matured emotionally. We left our baggages at like first year, second year of our relationship, because we was dealing with a lot. I had dealt with a lot too. Everybody's not jamming their wahala together. We have lesser issues that we used to have. We now have more real issues, like future issues, instead of issues that really don't make sense. Then also we have matured spiritually, right? Yes, we have matured spiritually, to be honest. And we are no longer baby Christians, and I thank God for that. Then we are both growing every day. There's been so many changes. Maybe I'll talk about changes that we've experienced since I when we started, and now that it is 5 years after. Like, maybe we should do a video like that. And I don't know, it's definitely not going to answer me, but let's shall try our best. Another person says, has your relationship gotten boring over the years? I feel like it got boring at some point, but thank God we found our way back. It got boring because wedding, well, I see finish. God. You now remember that honestly, when you get into marriage, it will be worse because there's now more see finish now that you live together. But yeah, but we've been able to maneuver it. Like, to be honest, we are now more friends than we are lovers. Like, if you see us outside, you first think we are friends before you not think we are lovers. We are so close, and we are like this. Yeah, so guys, we've come to the end of this video. Some people asked me very funny questions. Hey, thank God I asked this man first. I just sent the questions to him. Bam, what do you think about this? Do you want me to answer it? And like, nah. Number one, I wasn't really comfortable with answering it, but I didn't mind. And he did not even want to answer it at all. So he just told me to put it aside. And because I don't even feel comfortable with it at first, I mean, that's okay. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to do more relationship videos, please let me know and I will do them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.